Hey everybody, this is John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com. And today I want to have a little discussion about an email that Jackie received recently from a friend, and they had a conversation about the fact that single equals freedom and relationship equals constraint. And it's really interesting to me how that's what happens in our society today. I think a lot of people feel that way. I know for me, when I was a single person, I did have a lot of freedom. And I mean, I dated when I wanted to date. I had my hobbies when I wanted to go play paintball or do whatever else, paraglide, whatever else I wanted to do. I didn't have to check in with someone to do those things. You know,
You didn't have to explain why you were talking to who you were talking to.
No. Not until you start liking somebody more than the others, or you decide maybe you want to spend more time with this person than the others. And as soon as that process starts happening, then the questions start coming up. So you're going there today, or why aren't you spending time with me? You know, I mean, it may not come out quite that way, but that's what starts happening. And then when you make the decision to be in that relationship, then you're 100% constrained. If there was other girls that I had gone out with in the past, and maybe I liked them as friends, there's a good chance I wouldn't be allowed to at that point. And I think a lot of relationships, vanilla relationships, and even some people that are in the lifestyle are pretty constraining of each other. And I just have never understood that. I've never really felt like that was a natural way to be. We're taught, to just be loving people. And yet once we're in a relationship, we can only be that loving person towards the person that we're with. Why do I have to stop loving everyone to some degree? And is there a limit to how much love we can give? So I'm this loving guy, and now I'm with Jacqueline, and so I only have enough love for you. There's not enough love to go around for anybody else. It's finite. I don't really believe love is finite.
Right.
And I really think that's an interesting topic in how that happens and where that comes from, and how in our relationship, it's so far from our relationship. We really do enjoy, I don't know, I love hearing about you talking to friends that you've had in the past, guy friends. And I know you like hearing about my ex-girlfriends and things that her and I have talked about, or we've talked about. So it's just a completely different relationship model we have than the standard. You're now committed to this person, and this is the only person that you can look at or think about or talk about, right?
Well, that's the relationship model most of us are raised to want to achieve. I mean, we're actually given a lot of accolades if we can get to that point. If we can get to that point where all of a sudden our world just becomes encapsulated with two people. It is really interesting if you step back from that and try to be objective in actually looking at that definition. It really kind of starts to not make any sense. It would seem to me that if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody to the point where you enjoy spending the majority of your time with them, or you start to share a home with them, or you start to, purchase things together, those kinds of things that you're essentially saying to that person, this is how much I trust you. So if you have a trust for somebody, it seems like that would carry over into everything. I mean, if you have that level of trust with that person, then it would seem like it would make those fears subside. But it seems like how we're taught with relationships from a traditional standpoint, that it's backwards. Like to be in a relationship creates much more fear, which it shouldn't.
But it does, because there is always this fear of loss that not all of us, but some of us, because of something maybe happened as a child, we're afraid to lose something. So now, and this comes into play too. So,
which means we think we own it.
That's right. That's right. And we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, here in the United States, we outlawed slavery a long time ago. But sometimes I see my friends' relationships, and I'm like, God, it's almost like this person is owned by the other person.
Right? Like I would never let my husband do that. Wait, what? do you own him? Or like, did you buy him? I mean, what? I don't. But we say it so easily and so off the cuff that somehow it makes sense to us. But if you really look at it, we share our relationship because we share our life together.
Right.
I mean, for us to have a relationship definitely doesn't mean John has to change anything about what he does. I mean, and it shouldn't. I mean, because we're just sharing in our life together.
And I think what happens, I know it has in some relationships that I've been in, when you're restricted like that, then you're prone to do it behind the other person's back, even though it could be an innocent thing. So I'm not allowed now to talk to somebody because I dated her before I was with this person over here. So she calls me and I talk to her, but I don't tell the person that I'm with that I have. And I think that happens a lot in relationships too, which could lead to, it's dishonest, and it could lead to cheating and other things, which I think happens because there's so much fear involved there.
I mean, how great is it that you can get a phone call and you can talk to them, or I can get a phone call and I can talk to them, and then I can actually come and share that with you, and it can foster another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We can either be in agreement on that, or it'll help foster some feelings for us as well. I mean, it's just, to me, that's really what a relationship is supposed to be about.
Yes, even if it doesn't involve, like our lifestyle, we're really open sexually, but it doesn't have to be that. It can just be in a regular relationship to have more open, honest communication, and try and walk through those fears, because I think those fears cripple a lot of relationships. Those fears of losing somebody because they're talking to somebody else.
And I think those are important things to look at. I mean, I think it really is important to look at your relationship that you have with your significant other and ask yourself, what am I doing in this relationship that's building it up, that's creating a solid foundation for this? Are we treating each other with respect and allowing someone to be who they are? I think is really an ultimate form of respect.
It is.
So, I think it's good every once in a while to just kind of step back and take a look and see what it is that you're doing with your relationship, and is the thought patterns that maybe you've always had, or do they work? Do they make sense? So
yeah, I think it's good. So please sign up at openlove101.com for our newsletter, and we'll update you on blogs and videos and books that might be coming out. In the meantime, have fun. See ya.